Let's welcome our host, Erica Wilson.
Great day, everyone. We're here live today with the girl, Erica Wilson, that it had to happen for our Winning Wednesday. And I have the Mr. Christopher Life Willars on tonight. And he says from prison to principal. And my God, when I saw this young man's story, it really touched me. And these are the type of stories that we need to get out there, because how many of us know once one has been incarcerated, it's hard for them to kind of get any type of publicity or even love shown to them. So without further ado, let me go ahead and introduce to some and present to others the Christopher Life Willars. Welcome.
How you doing? Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're most welcome. Thank you for accepting the invitation. I told you, I was looking at your story and I just began to just sit back because I have two young men, ages 34 and 31. Yeah, 34 and 30, 35 and 31. And I just began to say, Lord, I thank you, because it could have been one of them. Right. So if you can, let's go ahead and tell the audience a little bit about who is Christopher Willars.
Yeah, sure. And again, thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad to have a conversation like this. Presently, in 2023, I am the founder, social content creator of V100 TV, which I'm proud we just reached over 4 million views globally between TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. And over there, we're narrating and telling the story of justice-impacted people, people that are incarcerated, and a lot of the stories of the people that'll never make it home. So that's one thing. I'm also founder of Life Holdings LLC, which I'm very proud of, which specializes in basically securing and providing housing, what we call full-time housing, not halfway housing, for returning citizens or people that have felonies on their record. Here in Atlanta, it's extremely hard to rent if you got a felony conviction on your record, and there's plenty of people that made mistakes in the past and they just want a safe place to live with their family now. And then the other thing, lastly, is I'm a principal and school owner with my wife, co-owner of Lasting Layers of Beauty Institute in Tucker, Georgia, where we boast a 100% graduation rate. And my wife said she would threatened me to mention that I was actually honored and received Principal of the Year like 2 weeks ago. I took a trip up to Virginia Beach and was honored at the Monique Yesenia dinner banquet award. Excuse my words right now. It's been a long day. But so, yeah, that right. Yeah. So I got all that. And then I got to give you this last part, everybody that's watching. She kind of just touched on it. But prior to all this, I was sentenced to 144 years in prison. And I got a heck of a story that reflects plenty of other Black and brown young men and women throughout this country, specifically teenagers.
Oh my God. I don't think I knew that part of it, but I have my questions here.
Guess
And
what?
oh my God. So you kind of like really just jumped into it. But before we jump right into it, first of all, I would like to say congratulations.
Thank you.
That is major right there. So shout out to the wifey. Okay.
Yeah. That's my, hey, that's my, man, I love to talk about it. That's all that without her, I don't know. That's all I can say.
I know that's right. But just to hear, you said that you was honored as a principal, and then you had to go somewhere. You didn't even want to mention that. So you can tell that you're the type of person, it's not about you. It's about what it is that God is leading you to do. So you didn't even want the the recollection or anything from that. You just wanted to be, hey, that happened.
I didn't even want to be principal. I didn't.
Wow.
My wife. Well, I mean, just not to, but prior to me marrying my wife, I had asked. I said, "What do you want? If I could give you one thing." She said, "A school." So this was always her vision. But my wife, she's old school. She's got Christian principles. She's in the Word, and she said, "It's our school, and I can't be your boss in this setting when you're the head of our household." So I've got the type of wife, she makes sure I'm stretched a lot of times when I don't want to. And a lot of times I always got to give credit to her, even though she's not up here. When people see me out front a lot, It's her giving me that gentle nudge.
That's it right
Yeah.
there. And they said behind every good man is a good woman.
Yes, ma'am.
So
Yeah.
that is so awesome. So shouts out to her, and her name is Miss April. Shouts
Yeah.
out to
Yeah.
you, April, if you're watching. God bless you, Queen. That is amazing. An amazing story. We haven't even really jumped into everything yet. So we said from prison to principal, right?
Yes,
Also,
ma'am.
too, I want to congratulate you on reaching 1 million followers. I mean, I'm striving to get there, but when God see fit, that's when it will happen.
You on? Yeah, you on your way.
Thank you
I
so
see.
much.
I just wanted to say the way this came on, I was like, I'm in a real movie right here. I said, I got to
And
step
you
my
know what?
game
That's
up.
all me. That's all me doing this.
I got to step my game up. I ain't nowhere right here. I need.
That's okay. But see, that's what happened. We never know why we cross each other paths, right? Maybe I
Right.
can help you, you can help me. This is one of the things I like to say. See, people don't want to hear it, but it's the truth. Everybody wants something.
Oh yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
care what it is. Everybody wants something. And I tell my son that as well. But you have to also know you have to pour into each other in order for the empire to be built. So that's what your
Right.
wife did to you. She poured into you. You guys were pouring into you, keep replenishing each other's cup.
Yeah.
You may be out front, but you represent her.
Yeah. Definitely.
You
Definitely.
know, that is amazing. So let's go into this from prison to principal, because my God, I did not know that you was facing 144 years.
Sentenced to 144
You
years.
were sentenced to 144 years.
Yep. Yes, ma'am.
How could they
Yeah.
give somebody that kind of time? Is that state?
The state. Yes, ma'am. It's. I mean, it's a crazy story, but it reflects so many teenagers when you between 18 to 22. That I mean, it's modern day genocide, and it continues on to this day. My story briefly, I jumped in the car. I was actually active duty United States Air Force, serving during 9/11.
Mm-hmm.
Came to visit some family on recruiter's assistance. Jumped in the car one night with an older cousin and his friends, and they robbed the place. I never went into it. Never left the car. Never touched the gun, and the gun was a BB gun, might I add. All this is public record. But in Virginia, there's no law that sets you apart from the actual crime itself. So whether you were in the car or in the place, the store, the house, or holding the gun, you're found guilty of the same crimes. And um, in short, from that one car ride, that situation, I found myself in jail, incarcerated. Nobody in my family really knowing how to navigate the legal system, and I was fighting at 6 life sentences at the time.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. 6 life sentences?
I've been delivered from much. This is
Oh
all
my.
public. That's why I love it's not me. God gets all the glory because
Amen.
I'm not supposed to be here right now, and especially at the capacity that I'm blessed to operate in. It was 6 life sentences. And not but to go too deep into it, I was sitting in a courtroom, and when it was time to get sentenced, the lawyer that I had, a public defender, came in, and he told me, he said, the best I can do is get you, XYZ all suspended, but 38 years, which would have meant I would have came home at about 60.
Oh my.
And I remember telling him, I said, I can't do that. And he said, well, you need to tell me something to tell the judge and the prosecutor. And as a 19-year-old boy, teenager, well, I'm a 40-year-old man now.
Right.
I had to come up with a number in my mind that would be suffice to the judge and the courts to give up out of my life and that I could survive with doing. And I told the public attorney, I said, I just want to be home before I'm 40, because I was watching what was happening to other guys my age, going in the
Mhm.
courtroom, not knowing what's going on, no legal representation besides a public defender. And I took the gamble. And some people, it's a weird, I guess, twisted joke now. People say, well, maybe you should have said less than 10, or you want to be home in 10, because he gave me what I asked for. He ended up giving me altogether 144 years, all suspended but 19.
Wait a minute. This is something that a lot of our young kids are faced with. And I
Oh,
used
yeah.
to tell my kids all the time, be very careful who you're getting in the car with, because you
Mhm.
never know, even if they just came to pick you up after they did whatever they did,
Yeah.
you still could get in some type of trouble.
Oh, yeah.
So, and this is, oh my God. So you active duty, you go to visit family, and you just so happen to say, I'm going to go hang out with cousin them. And here it is, boom, you end up in this situation at the age of 19. So your career was basically taken off because you was in the armed forces, correct?
Yeah, ironically enough, I mean, I don't mind sharing this. I was actually headed into law enforcement, which is crazy. I was my
Oh,
MOS. I was headed towards security forces, and I had this plan in my mind. I was going to go FBI. I wanted to go after the people that committed crimes against children and women and stuff. I wanted, I had a whole plan, and yeah, one car ride, and I want to be clear. I don't want to sit here and say, hey, I thought my cousin and all them were innocent. We were
right.
out there, we're
Mhm.
joyriding, but I did not know that was gonna occur. Not that part.
Jesus. Oh my God. Whew. So car ride, and again, we know some things, but still, like you said, you want to hang out with cousin them and we want to be cool or
Yeah,
whatever, and just go out and hang out. But never imagine, like within a blink of an eye, that your life could be just taken away from you just like that.
yeah.
144 years. Who survived in 144 years?
Barely I survived. I
You
went
know,
through. I've been through some things, and that's one of the things I love about my platform. We talk about mental health. We talk about the
yes.
healing process. Me and my wife get up there and talk about relationship because we had to grow, we had to learn, we had, and it's not an easy journey, prison. And I say to anybody, you're a survivor. Despite the situation, it's inhumane, it's aggressive, it's hostile, it's everything. You know, as
Ooh,
yeah,
Jesus. So here it is now. You're sitting in the courtroom. You have this public defender, because that happens a lot where we don't have the money to pay
right,
for a lawyer, right?
right,
My homeboy says, Dwayne Roberts, he says, I know the feeling on God.
right. A
Hey,
lot of
King.
us do.
Yeah. And the thing is, I have to be honest, even when it happened to me, I didn't know anything about no system, but
Right.
I end up with a public defender, first time offender, and
Yeah,
it's just so amazing how to see that these people, they don't care. They just try to get to the next level. So
yeah,
your life is just like, okay, they don't care nothing about that. They're just trying to get you to get a plea, or to just move on to the next person because they're trying to move on up. And it's
yeah,
sad to see that they juggle with people's lives like that. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So now
yeah.
you're sitting in this courtroom, you throw a number at this judge, I mean, at your public defender. He told the judge. So now the judge comes back with how much?
144 years, all suspended, but 19. So I had to do 19 years. In the Commonwealth of Virginia, you got to do 85% of your sentence. But you're going to get in trouble, right? You're in prison. You're going to get in a fist fight. There's something that's going to happen in 20 years or 17. And so a lot of guys, they do more than 85%. You usually end up doing about 91 to 96% of your time.
Okay, and what were your charges?
When it was all said and done, I got convicted of robbery, use of firearm, and conspiracy to commit. So they said that we sat and planned it out, which again I had no idea. The use of firearm, it was a BB gun. It's on record. I got hit with multiple gun charges for that because what I want, if anybody's younger that watches this, I need y'all to know if you commit a crime in a household or establishment, you don't just get one charge for the building. You get a charge for each individual that's occupying that dwelling. So if you got one gun and it got pointed at six people, you can get six gun charges. And that's what I got ended up when it's all said and done. Excuse me, with six robberies, six gun charges, six conspiracy to commits without leaving a vehicle, without touching a gun. And people need to know that because until you're a part of the legal system, you can get tricked into really thinking that this could never happen to you. It's black and white. You know, what's right is right. They're gonna be fair. And no, you hit it on the head. Prison is big money. You know, it's big labor for, you know, and they get money. We're cattle. You know, we're literally numbers.
Absolutely. Oh my God. And you said that too. You're like, okay, 20 years, you know you're going to get in some trouble. You know,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
why is that? Because you have to kind of like, why would you say in 20 years, if you serve a 20-year bid, you're going to get in some trouble?
I mean, you're gonna be tested. You're gonna go through
Mhm.
things. For me, I got sent straight to a maximum security prison.
At
It was
19?
at night. Well, at 20. By the time they shipped me from the jail, I had turned 20 and went through court. So at the age of 20, never being in trouble, going to jail. Now I'm on a level 4 maximum security prison. Over 70% of the prisoner population has life sentences. Majority are murderers. It's the worst of the worst. So things are going to happen in the environment because you're surrounded by people that aren't coming home, and if they find out you are, that's going to make it harder. And even if they don't care about you. Not the majority. I want to
Right.
say that there's a percentage of people that, just like here in society, that will go around and mess your day up, right? The difference
Mhm.
is in there you can't get away from it. And
Right.
eventually, if you got a backbone, if you don't want to be victimized, you're gonna have to stand up. You know, it's one of the tests.
Oh my God. So here it is. You're 20 years old. You're going into this level 4. You say maximum security prison. What was going through your mind pulling up there?
You know, so early on in when I got sentenced, growing up, let me go really briefly back. Growing up, I was a popular kid. I didn't really have a problem getting along with people. I knew how to communicate. You know, my mother taught me to interact, and I applied those same skills when I came to the jail. Now you include the fact that I was angry. Um, I knew I had influence, and I was a pretty smart guy. I was in the Air Force, so I could think. And guys started to click up with me at the jail. And you're young, you got a clique of young guys with you. You know, you're starting to you feel that. You know, you feel it feed into your ego. You start to feed into the jail thing, the prison thing. And when I went to prison, it kind of followed me. I think I was there for about 2 or 3 days. I got into a fight. Some guys tried to jump me. I basically, you know, I passed the test. And then guys from out of state, because I was out of state from Chicago, born and raised, now in Virginia.
Wait a
Hmm.
minute. 1 second.
Hmm.
You say you passed the test.
Yeah, I mean, I call it. I tell guys when I talk. So whenever I speak to young men that are getting ready to go into the system, I need them to understand it's not. This is not a field trip. You know, I don't want to be vulgar on you, but somebody will try to take your life up there. You know, it's no different than how they're quick to, you know, to use firearms and shoot out here. They use knives, and again, these guys, a lot of them already they're violent. So this is
Yeah.
nothing, you
Oh,
know. And my third day there, I had a group of guys from one of the cities, 5 to be exact. They jumped me after they tried to rob me I didn't even have anything. You know, it was more of a I think it was more of a statement. It was more of he's from out of town. You know, he's not kissing my butt. And when I say I passed the test, what happened? Well, I got lumped up pretty decent. I had to sign a waiver um, through the investigator on the unit that said I acknowledge the fact that people wanted to take my life, possibly, and that if anything happens to me, they're not at fault because I told them I wanted to be put right back into the same pod. I'm a little different. I'm different. I'm bold. I'm bold now. I'm a protecting that. But back then, it's. I'm from Chicago. I'm a Chicago kid. I'm in the military, so I took that with me. And when
okay.
I went back to the pod, and I told you know, each city got big dogs or big homies or whatever, and OGs. And I went to that city's OG, and I said, I want to fight all of them one on one, and
How
they
many
granted
was
it.
it?
It was 5 total. They granted it. It took about 2 days. Some of the outer towners made sure I was good and I didn't get jumped anymore. We went in a cell. Two of their guys stood outside, two of mine, and I'd like to say I was undefeated, but I got lumped up again. But
wait, hold on. You guys were fighting in the cell?
oh yeah. You see, I love talking about this because there's a lot of things people don't think. So the mentality of those that are incarcerated, right? The prisoner, when you're in a hostile environment like that, not like a dorm, but when you're in a real penitentiary, if you fight, it's known if you fight in the pod, you're trying to draw attention so it could get broke up quick, and you can get help from the guards. But if you fight in the cell, they call that no man's land. Because they don't have to find you there. But again, I want to be clear. This is 20-year-old me. This is
right.
40-year-old me. Oh no.
Yeah.
Not even. Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, so you know what? I'm gonna play this video. Because when I saw this video that you made, I was like, "There's no way." But I know you wouldn't make a video that's not the truth.
Yeah.
And to hear what transpired, guys, when you hear this video, please pay attention, because I'm telling you, Mr. Willars, it was just like, are you kidding me? Like, I could not believe what I was hearing you say. And I said, let me reach out to him to make sure I can play this, because let me tell you something. These kids, if anybody that have kids, young kids, especially young men, please show them this video. I mean, this segment here, because Mr. Willars is sharing a whole lot of information, especially the ones who, I think a lot of men is pushing their kids to be these little tough guys. You know what I'm saying? And they don't even understand what they're doing to them, especially on in life when they become an adult, right? What happens is, we have a whole thing here for my own way. But when they become adults, what happens is they don't know how to express themselves. You know what I mean? And it's sad to say, but like I tell people, when you're inflicting pain on somebody and you telling them as a child to be quiet, you're giving them mixed emotions. They don't know how to think or what to do. And some people just hold everything inside. Then when they become this adult and explode on people, then you're looking like, oh boy, what's going on? But let's see what the comment says here. It says, if you don't fight for your freedom, they will throw the keys away and they will make prison your home for life. What? I know someone who did 30 years straight for something he didn't do, and he finally got out 30 years later because he got the same name as someone else. And if he didn't fight, and a woman who was in law school helped him get out, that was nothing but God. And my story, paid lawyers couldn't get me out. See? But a prison law clerk helped me get out and took my case to the highest. Dwayne, you need to come on my show. You need to be on It Had to Happen. But I want to see if you can relate to what Mr. Willars said transpired in prison. Whew.
Being in prison for 17 years, I'd say hands down, one of the craziest things I've seen was this particular day was on Sussex 2 State Prison. It's a max facility, level 4, Commonwealth of Virginia. It was store day or commissary day, where all the guys go and get food. The zoom zooms and wham whams from the window, come back. It's also a dangerous day because that's a day when debt is supposed to be paid. And a lot of times guys do not pay their debt. And I want to give you an example how dangerous it is when it comes to paying your debt in prison. This particular day, there was an individual, he owed the store box man. And the store box man is the guy who loans out items, usually 2 for $3 honey buns, 3 for $5 soups, 4 for $7 on the sodas or the pops, stuff like that. You get 3 items from him on store day, you bring 5 items, the same items, back to him. That's how he collects his interest and he makes his money. Well, this individual owed the store box man $60 approximately in food items, etc. Store box day came, or commissary day came. He comes, he brings the store box guy a bag. Store box guy is going over the list, and he paid everything except for one 32-cent bag of chips. The the store box guy went to the guy to give his bag back to him that he gave him his food in when he was paying his debt. And he said, man, you owe me a small bag of chips. So the guy said, all right, man, I got you, no problem. When they open the doors the next time, which at cell break, I got you. He's playing cards and cell break comes by. He doesn't go and get the small bag of chips for the store box guy. The guy comes around, store box guy, says, hey, man, are you going to get my bag of chips? The guy looks at him and says, man, you stressing me over a 32-cent bag of chips. I just paid you $59. I was only 30-some cents short. You tripping. Let me play my game of poker. Before he could get the rest of the sentence out, store box guy began stabbing him in his neck. Immediately, the COs started shooting into the pod because on Sussex, they've got guns, usually filled with rubber bullets, but they do have access to live ammo. We hit the floor, and they had to take him up out of there. That's how serious it is when it comes to debt in prison. You can literally lose your life over 32 cents. A lot of people say this is crazy, but let me tell you, it's not the dollar amount, it's the principle.
Wow. 32 cents, Mr. Willars.
Yeah. And that's not the craziest thing I've seen. But for dollar amount, yeah. Yeah.
Well, we done heard Mr. Willars it's because we know it says it had to happen, right? So
Right.
Mr. Willars did almost a 17-year bid in prison, sentenced to 144 years. However, you said that it was cut down to 19. Am I correct?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, and you got out in almost 17. Oh my God.
Yeah, I came home. I got locked up February 12th, 2003. I came home January 13th, 2020, right before COVID. They didn't even have smartphones. Facebook didn't exist.
No.
People barely text. Yeah.
Oh my God. So we're going to jump on into the questions I have because I'm telling you, hearing that, guys, you just heard that someone lost their life for 32 cents, a bag of chips.
Yeah.
Whew. Okay.
Yeah, prison.
So what kind of plan did you have when it got closer to time for you to get out? Did you set a goal for yourself? Like, what was it? What was you saying to yourself?
So, like, fast forward a little bit, younger me, like I was explaining, I guess I didn't use the terms. I was involved in the gang life. I was lost. I was angry. And I was always a leader, though. And one day I had an individual by the name of Poetic Life of Law, Jefferson Ellie, come to me. And he, older guy, not too much older, about 4 or 5 years older than me. And he came to me, he said, man, you don't even know who you are. And from that question, we were playing chess, and then he actually started educating me in regards to things like history and science and teaching me about my value and who I was. And when somebody took the time out to do that, because you do have great men that are behind those walls, like him and others, that just messed up, made a mistake. But when somebody started to explain to me my value, then my vision became different. From there, the guards and the wardens, they would notice that I had influence over the fellow prisoners, and they actually created a position for myself and one other individual called senior elders, which were like mentors for the reentry program, guys getting ready to go back home. They would give us an opportunity to help facilitate programs, different work groups, workshops. We could reach out to different help organizations and bring them into their guys, into us. And we were blessed with the opportunity to kind of move differently than a lot of people that were incarcerated. It was a situation, we used to our advantage, and we were able to help a lot of people. And through that, my goal was always coming home. Initially was to work with reentry, continuing to work with the guys that were incarcerated, and just making sure that I could, do my part. While I was incarcerated, I was able to help guys get home because I was good at legal work. I wasn't able to get home early, early.
Yeah.
I was able to keep a lot of guys out of trouble. There were times where the guards would come to me if they caught wind of something was getting ready to happen on the camp, and they give me opportunity to come go holler at the brothers. And there was a time where if you were 25 and a gang member or younger, you were getting moved into my dorm because they knew I was good with the youngins and getting them to kind of, move in a way where we could all get home.
Yeah.
And that was always my plan, just to help people. It went way differently once I got out here than I
Yeah.
expected. I thought I was going to be like working back in the prisons, because a lot of guys are starting to do that. They're going back into prisons and working in certain, but I think I'm being called different places.
Well, that's
So
it. And the thing is, now I want to say this first comment first, and then I'm going to jump into what I was getting ready to say. It goes down. It does go down. Like that brother said, I went from life and 25 years to 25 years. I did 20 years straight, and I can say it's a lot of things goes on in prison about
yeah.
petty stuff, and you could come prison with 5 years and don't make it out. And then
Oh
some
yeah.
people go to prison with 5 to 10 years and catch more time for stabbing someone.
Yeah.
Homegirl, it gets real. True
Mm.
story. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, guys, listen to me. I'm not saying that anybody should join a gang. That is not what I'm saying. What I
Right.
am saying, though, that by you joining that game and being the gang and being the leader, God was preparing you for leadership then. But
Man,
let
you
me
said,
finish talking this
yeah.
thing. So I'm not saying anybody join the gang. I'm speaking on leadership, okay? And God was preparing you then. See, He had to take you through and all of the experiences you had going through being in the gang. So once you became into the prison system, He worked it for your good. See, you decide to go join the gang, right? And He
Right.
said His hand is on you, but at the end of the day, son, I'm not going to give up on you. I'm speaking to your younger self now.
Right.
Not going to give up on you. I have a plan for you. It's going to take you, you're going to be delayed, but you won't be denied. So here it is. You get into this prison system, and now you have them sending you guys to mentor, even in prison. You
Yeah.
understand? And you said something so great about it's some great guys that's behind
Oh
bars.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
got to know that too, because at the end of the day, it's probably one mistake that they made. Yes. And societies, they don't want to forgive you. But
Yeah. A
if
lot of
they
times.
think about some stuff, Mr. Willars, that they did that God forgave them about, it'll come easy breezy. So my thing is, stop tooting up your nose at people who in prison, been to prison, or maybe even have a past. It's called past for a reason. So
Right.
here it is. Now you was mentoring in prison, thought that's what was your area, but God says when you came out, I'm gonna plant you into this beauty school. Because guess why?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you're a beautiful wife, so tell us about how you met this wife and how that came about and how she lit fire under you to start this business.
Yeah. So I didn't mention I'm also vice president of two nonprofits, the Nehemiah Empowerment Project, and we got incorporated. Um, I do a
Oh
lot, not more than anybody else, but I'm running around. And at the time I was back then I was running the Nehemiah Empowerment Project with a buddy of mine, Freddie Williams. It's a Christian nonprofit. It focuses on developing leaders from the inside out.
my.
And again, we were blessed. I know it was God's hand, because we were blessed. We could do a lot of things that a lot of guys couldn't, and we were given a voice at the table where we shouldn't have been. And
No,
yeah,
don't say where you shouldn't have been, because it
right,
was already in the plan. You see,
right,
so y'all had to go through the its to get to the plan.
man,
It
it
birthed
was.
the purpose. Yeah,
and, and
yeah.
man, I had met my wife, a mutual friend of hers was married to a good friend of mine, and she had seen me as well as him. They had seen me facilitate some seminars in there, because families could come in and I was doing one at the time on relationships and building better relationships, stuff like that, emotional intelligence. And she ended up connecting me with her friend, and April was that friend. And the first time we ever spoke, it was a 20-minute phone call. And before the end of the phone call, it was supposed to be about business because I wanted to be able to get her insight on a nonprofit and some things. But the conversation shifted, and before it was over, she asked me if she could pray for me. And I never had a woman ask for me to, ask if she could pray for me outside of my mother. So, before the end of that phone call, I knew that was my wife. And it was funny because I had only heard of her and I only spoke to her. I didn't see her physically. But I knew by talking to her that already this was a lot of the things that I had been praying for. In my past years growing up inside of prison, I wanted a wife, a companion, somebody that I could build with. And we met. And over the course of, some months and years or whatever, conversations, visits, we actually ended up getting married while I was still incarcerated. So I could come straight to Georgia. And it was one of the scariest things I've ever done, and probably for her too. But we did it, and
Wow.
we came down here right before COVID. And man, I just tell anybody, any of my fellas out there, the key, if you're coming home, don't rush it. Don't rush it now. But when you find a good woman, hang on, hang on tight and go into it knowing that there's gonna be growth. There's supposed to be,
Yeah.
And as long as you got a good one, somebody that supports you when you're at your lowest, then you make sure that with you when you're at your highest. And
That's good stuff. That is good stuff. Because I'm glad that you said that, because it's far too often where when you guys, when some guys, I ain't gonna say you guys, but when some guys get out, guess where they going? They going to find whatever they can find. You know what I'm saying? But see, guys, like again, they're going another God move. He had them set it up already. And here it is, you met this woman, and to know that you met a praying woman. See, sometimes those praying women scare some men off. Because
I needed that prayer right there.
That's what I'm telling you.
The way my life set up,
people there.
I be needing all the prayer.
I'm telling you,
I be out here in this world. I needed that.
I'm telling you. Brother Dwayne says, tell that brother salute. I came from that same world and lifestyle. Tell him to keep pushing and remain focused, because that place ain't nothing nice. Freedom is much sweeter. I promise you, I won't trade it in for nothing. One love, Erica, and one love to that brother. Stay blessed. It had to happen. See?
Indeed.
That's good. But you think about, okay, here it is, you met this woman. This woman says, can she pray for you? And immediately you knew that was your wife. See, the thing is, you had to go through all of those so you can be ready. But the one thing that I admire that you said is there's going to have to be some growth. You're going to have to grow together. You're going to have to learn one another. But it's when you're doing it together is what makes a difference. One person can't do it because there's no I in team. You know what I mean? So even if she's helping you when you're at your lowest, I'm sure you was pouring into her something that she need, because a lot of times what people don't, I don't know about other women. I can only speak for myself. A lot of times what it is with me is, I don't care how much money you got, or you don't have. You understand what I'm saying? If you can love me, that's enough. You know what I'm saying? Because we can grow together and we can build something. But it's far too often one want to always come in with so much on the table. You understand? You putting all these requirements on this man, but what are you as a woman bringing to the table?
Yeah. And vice versa. But
Yeah, it has to be a team effort. And shouts out to you, Miss April. I wish we had you on as well. But guys, we're here live tonight with the girl Erica Wilson, and it had to happen for our Wisdom Wednesdays. I'm sorry. And Mr. Willars says, from prison to principal. And let me tell you something. He have a story. We spent a lot of time on his it, but that was only because we're trying to bring awareness to what goes on behind those prison walls. A lot of times we don't know. A lot of times we don't even sit and take time to talk to people who have been incarcerated to hear their side, because we're too busy judging. And as God says, he's the only judge. So this man has an awesome young woman behind him. They have an awesome business going. I wish I had the pictures up here so I could show you all their school. But tell us, Mr. Willars, all about your school.
Man, Last Layers of Beauty Institute. Originally my wife's dream. She had a dream years ago. And actually, she's from Detroit. She came to Georgia with 2 suitcases, the stool she did hair on, and a one-way rental. And that woman is all faith. And she's teaching me about faith. And a lot of these seasons I call life. And, when we, like I said, fast forward, we had the opportunity to get the school. We opened the school in December of 2021. And this was just as COVID was lifting. But it was scary as I don't know what. I want to say that. I got to mention that. But we did it. Again, my wife, she's full steam ahead. She's full of faith. And when I got weary, I held her hand, So we pressed forward. We knew the vision for the school was to be what we always wanted and needed, which was a place or an environment that would be more than just beauty education, but a place where people could be cared for. And not only that, we know that the majority of our people were Black owned. Although we have a diverse, student population, we know a majority of the people that look like us, they don't have financial literacy. So in our school, we teach beauty education. We make sure you're cared for from the time you walk in the door, whether you're student, staff, or somebody. Myself, even though I'm the executive director, you'll see me in there cleaning toilets. And we're big on that. We want everybody to feel like it's home. We boast a 100% graduation rate. We are approaching our 3rd graduation with over 40 graduates. And it's just been a journey. We teach everything from master cosmetology licensure to esthetician, nail tech. And we recently launched an instructor program where we gave over $30,000 of scholarships to what we call returning students, or students that we seen as being a part of the educational process in the future of the industry. One thing that our school is big on is sowing into the future, not just being concerned with right now. And I also got to mention, we've got the lowest tuition in Atlanta. People laughed at us when we did that.
Yes, y'all do.
We weren't scared of that. We knew what we had to make to keep the doors open. We knew what we had to do to grow. But my first ability to make a decision with my wife was to make sure the tuition was affordable, because as we look around, guess what? Milk is $40 a gallon. But so we're down the street from Empire Beauty School, which charges $20,000. We charge $125 a week. And we challenge any school. We like to say we're the David of the Goliaths. And we're very proud of what we do. Yeah,
that's it. And you guys do a fantastic job, because I had an opportunity to go on your website and I was looking through the pictures and the graduations just to see the smiles on these young ladies and young men faces, because I see a couple of young men there as well. Oh my God. So, and then when I saw the price of it, I was like, wow, it's so, because here in Atlanta, everything is expensive from here. I'm from Miami, but everything is expensive here. And like you said, milk costs almost $40, eggs as well. But the thing about it is, you're putting these young women and young men in position to win. And that's, God says, you take care of my people, I'll take care of you. So it's when we get in position to do what happens 9 times out of 10, we charge so much money.
Yeah.
And the ones that probably want to do it can't afford it.
Right.
What about that single mom? I was a single mom. You know what I'm saying? What about that single mom or that struggling teenager, coming into adulthood, that want to do it, but they get shied away from their dreams because of what? the number I see.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not only giving them hope, you're setting them up to win, to build. If one come to your school and do not excel, they just don't want to.
Yeah, I ask every single student one question. I mean, I ask them a few, but I make sure I ask them one question before we're done with the orientation or the tour. And I say, and it's, do you want to know how to own a school and run one? Do you want to, or some students, do you want to take my seat? Because the goal for us is literally whatever we gain, it's not ours. We got blessed with this. This isn't ours to keep. And we're not worried about giving it away, because what we've seen is the more we give it away, the more we being restored and pushed forward and replenished. And we've been able to build a great reputation. And I'm great. We don't have to advertise maybe like a lot of businesses, because we built up to word of the mouth. And it was a slower process. Lord knows we get tested. Man, I don't. It's like now that I'm living the right way, I get tested. I'd be whew. But
we like to
we
say,
make it.
when you live in the right way, you got a stamp on your head that says, "Come on, Satan, come on and travel."
I'm like, this how it is over here when you're on this side, like when you do, like when you all the way, but I'm grateful for it, and I want to go, not to keep going back, but I'm also grateful I got my wife to go through this with, through this journey, because it's a hard one when you first generation and you opening a school. It's not easy. 0 students, at first. It's difficult, but it's worth it.
The thing is, look where you are now. So it says you probably started at slow motion, but the thing about it is, God, see, this is what a lot of people don't understand too. God deals with the intent of your heart. Like, why did you do what you're doing? Are you deep? You see what I'm saying? See, your goal, you said, was to give it back.
Yeah.
Who that owns a business say they want to give it back? You see what I'm saying? See, so God knows your heart. And the thing is, when you could put people in your seat, see, you don't worry about being top dog, CEO or whatever it is. You say you still clean your toilets. You have some that will not do that if they hold that position, right? But you're showing these young ladies and these young men, like, no matter what your title, that's why I do not like titles, period. I do not like them. But when you are dealing with titles, you're teaching them, like, okay, you can be here, but you still can do this. You understand? Right. You're showing them, you being that example. So now you did the 16, almost 17 years, 16 years, 11 months, 11. Right? Yeah. Well, shy of a month, almost 17 years. So you did the 17 years. You're in a prison where you're kind of like tutoring and mentoring young men in prison. So now you get out. Did you make yourself a promise when you got out? Soon as you exit those doors, what was your train of thoughts? And did you say, well, I'm going to promise myself, maybe I'll never come back? Or what was it?
Yeah, I mean, I knew I wasn't coming back. Things can be out of your control, but I know in control, me knowing I'm never going to go back. So that was in stone. I was just waiting for my turn. I knew that I was coming into a fresh start. I knew that, unlike a lot of guys, I had a pretty good support system with my mother, my wife, my cousin, my uncle, some good friends, some good positive influences. But my mindset was to get on the internet, and I started this show called The Real Prison Talk. And the purpose was because I just wanted to talk about my experience in my life, and I thought that this is what I was going to do. And I ended up a few months into that journey starting to fight for my brother's freedom. And through this platform that we created, we were able to amass over 188,000 signatures in support of his release, of Jefferson Ellie's release in the Commonwealth of Virginia, somebody that should be home. And from that, other families started reaching out. So from that time on, even into this moment, I have served as a quote unquote prison coach, or to help familiarize people that are maybe having to experience, the prison system for the first time, or family members. To this day, I get calls, from concerned mothers or family members that they don't know what's going on with their sons behind those walls. I knew, as far as my mentality coming out here, I knew that I didn't want to live a life where I was just getting by. I feel like we all deserve to experience better things. So I was ready to work hard. My mother instilled in me, that spirit of working hard, and it's never no harm or disrespect, but I refuse to let anybody in the room with me outwork me, and I become known for that. And then the other part with leadership is, I think, coming into this thing, I knew that I could connect to more people, which I wanted to do by serving them, because that's what leadership is. And yeah, I had a mentor, big brother, I call him he's a pastor. He act like he's not a pastor. He's a pastor. Man, know every word in the Bible inside out. Tell you but he taught me that, and he said, man, whatever you do, you go out there and you show them you're a leader by helping them get to the places they want to go.
They want to go,
and that's been my formula. I've been able to help my wife with her vision. I've been able to help two of my brothers with their nonprofits. I am blessed to have my own thing, again, the 100 TV, and it's reached global. We just got invited to Ghana, so it's a beautiful thing, but it's weird as it may sound. I'd much rather help people manifest or bring forth or help create their own, because I really don't like being out front, but we got to tell our story, right? We got to push the narrative.
Yep. And that's one of the things I say here. It had to happen. It had to happen to you, but for somebody else. You see
Right.
how you had to go through it. You see what I'm saying? And you was being birthed for your purpose. So here it is now. Look, you have people reaching out to you. And it could be even on a national level. I don't know why I hear the Holy Spirit saying that, but it could be on a national level. So what you just said Ghana, didn't you?
Yeah, when in the last couple of weeks, Ghana, we were invited to Ghana to come out there to bring the platform V100 TV because they want to know about the American legal system and what goes on here. So they thought I would be a good representative to come out there and educate their people. It was 3 churches that reached out. So we're setting that up. I'm able to get my passport now, so I'm excited.
Congratulations.
Yeah. And then I was recently, actually next Monday, I'll be going to my first meeting with the Georgia Coalition, which is
awesome.
in my words, it's basically the heavy hitters or the freedom fighters, the ones behind the scenes. And that's me. I like the cause. I'll shake some up now. Like, everybody knows I'm an agitator. But I really like making those moves behind us. And then you like, what just happened? Oh, they was over there doing that. All them people just. So I'm just excited. I'm excited about a lot of stuff going on. Yeah.
Again, first of all, I have to say congratulations on everything that you're doing. And I would love to have April here along with you so you guys could tell us all about your studio. Whatever, however, you have the link to book, and I would love for you to bring her back. But if one want to get in contact with you, tell us how we can do so, please.
Yeah, directly. If anybody wants to email me directly, I generally don't do this, but I'm gonna do this, start doing this, and I'm gonna create another email. But you can directly email me at clwillars, CLWILLARS @gmail.com. And outside of that, you can find me on every single social media platform. If you put V100 TV, THE100 TV, and that's really it. If you find me in one place, you'll find me everywhere. On TikTok, we've amassed over 2 million views. YouTube approaching 1. Facebook, we've got a community that focuses on dialogue and interaction, and we discuss issues that impact us daily, not just those that were incarcerated, but issues that affect Black and brown people or people as a whole. And that's really it. Oh, and the school. I got to mention the school stuff. I don't know why. The website for the school, and please check us out. Even if you're not in the same state, just visit the website, check us out so you can see what's going on. It's www.lastinglayersofbeauty.com. LASTINGLAYERSOFBAUTY.com. Lastinglayersofbeauty.com. And check us out. Look at that. Boom. There you go. Teamwork. Yeah,
All right,
that's
you
what
see
I'm
that?
talking about. I couldn't even spell it. I'm so tired over here from the.
I was, I
The
was
day been
already
so
on it.
crazy.
I was already on it. But don't y'all be surprised if y'all see it had to happen on one TV.
Hey, oh,
We
I'm trying
don't
to
know
get you.
how I
I
go to
didn't want
work
to
this
ask you right
morning.
here, but we got to have you up there. We got to have you up there.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate it so much.
Mhm.
But you know what? I want you to speak to a parent. First, we're gonna do the parent. I want you to speak to a parent of that may have a child or a loved one that's incarcerated. What words of encouragement or what kind of advice can you give to them?
I think I want to speak to our mothers, right? Again, you know, incarceration, it's more about rich and poor nowadays. Is not as much about race, right? But to the mothers that don't know the legal system, it's imperative that if you don't know, you learn. It's imperative if you have your son or your daughter, somebody that's incarcerated, and you want them home, it's imperative that you don't give up. There are so many things that we can do, and a lot of times, us black and brown, we just don't know. We don't know how to get involved with the legal process. We don't know how to network on social media to get connected to other advocates. We don't know how to contact the prisons. Start connecting to people that are going through the same thing that you are. There are help organizations and groups. My organization has a support group every Thursday for the parents or loved ones of those incarcerated. But connect to other people that are going through the same fight. You'll find solutions there, and you'll find that some things that you think may be impossible are very possible. I know guys that come home on pardons. I know guys that got life sentences overturned. It's not always a hopeless situation, but you can't just sit back. You do have to fight for your loved one, and that's really my piece. Don't be scared to fight.
Wow. Whew. I guess that's a good. Well, no, I not that I guess that is a good one. That's a great one. So also if you may have someone that's on here, maybe a child, I don't know, maybe listening in with their mother, you
Mhm.
know, or the father, what would you say to them and your younger self?
So I had a conversation, and I keep it short, but I had a conversation a few weeks back with a young man. He was 15 years old, and I said, "Man, what is up with you?" I rolled up to the corner store, and he had a gun about the size of my arm hanging out of his pants. And I said, "What's going on, man?" I said, "Why y'all be so angry out here?" And he said, "Big bro, we don't get love out here." He said, "The most love we get is when we die." He said, "When my homeboys die, they put on t-shirts and shout it out in rap songs and put on hats and jewelry. And that's when we get love." I challenged them with the thought, and I said, "Do you understand?" And I looked him in his eye and said, "Once you're gone, you're gone. Do you understand that what you feel now at 15, you won't feel at 25? You won't feel at 35, but you got to keep going." To any youngin that's watching this, anybody that's younger, I urge you to understand there's no reset button. When you're gone, you're gone. Your mother will be crying. And here's a harsh fact: can your mother afford to bury you? Because just a few weeks ago, we had to do basically, we had to try to raise funds for somebody who wasn't able to put their son in the ground. What did he die over? About $60. So if you're watching this and you're in a situation where somebody disrespects you on social media, or they done got you for $40, ask yourself, is going to prison where you'll be forgotten by virtually everyone, maybe except for your mother, or going to the box worth it? Because there's no coming back. And once that time's gone, it's over with. And once your life's out, it's lights out.
That is deep and that is good. Even in, you say once you're gone, you're gone. I guarantee the young man in prison who lost his life over 32 cents, he never imagined that you know, that
Oh,
probably would even happen, you
no.
know. And a lot of times when a young man said that there's no love out here for them,
Mm-hmm.
like I'm afraid to say some stuff to some younger people because like you say, they stay so angry, you know. but it still takes some seasoned folk to go back down and reach to our younger folk, and show them that love, to show them, like, yeah, man, I was there where where you're at. I might not be as bad, but I was there. And then not judge them. We have to accept people for who they are. You
Right.
can't try to change anyone. So the words of encouragement that you just gave was nothing but amazing. And I hope someone caught that. I really and truly hope someone caught that. But we're a little over our time, and I know you're tired. So what I want to do, I want to, again, if anyone want to contact you, I have it here. But tell us all the hats that you wear once again.
Man, all the hats. All right. Founder, main social content creator, the 100 TV. Again, it's about justice impactive narratives, suicide prevention, mental health, and things that affect us as people. Vice president or acting, chair right now, We God Inc., nonprofit established by my brother Jefferson Ellie, to whom we continue to fight for his freedom to this day. And we've got over 100, I said 88, but it's 183,000 signatures currently sitting on the Commonwealth of Virginia governor's desk, waiting for him to sign off. I'm also the vice president of Nehemiah Empowerment Project, a Christian nonprofit which focuses on developing leadership from the inside out, specifically with those that are incarcerated or coming home that have obstacles and hurdles within themselves that maybe they don't know that they can get over in order to become the best version of themselves. I'm also founder of Life Holdings, which again, basically we're buying up properties, and if you're ex-felon and you check some of the boxes off that aren't as hard as the rest of the ones you might have to check off in Atlanta, we'll put you in a house. We'll put you in a suburb. We'll put you in a cul-de-sac. We'll put you in a split level. And we'll do that because we want to see people succeed. And I know the benefit of somebody going into a home versus coming home and going into an environment where they hear gunshots.
That's right.
And then, I was just invited to Georgia Coalition, which is basically all the advocates and freedom fighters, as I call it. Shout out to Reform Alliance, which is Meek Mill's organization, and a state organizer out of Georgia. Morgan that set that up. And then I am the co-owner, executive director, or as the students and everybody else calls me, Mr. Chris, or the principal of Lasting Layers of Beauty Institute, which is more than just.
Oh, guys, I think we're having some technical difficulty here. Mr. Willars was just telling us all the hats that he wear. Guys, I'm telling you, if you missed the first part of this broadcast, please do go back. Let's bring them back on. Please do go back and rewatch the first part of this broadcast to hear his story. It was amazing, eye-opening, and all of that. But go ahead, Mr. Willars. Can you hear me? I'm not sure if he can hear me. Can you hear me? I can't hear you. If someone calls your phone, it's going to knock you out. You can log out and come back in really quick so we could close out. You can log out. Yeah. So guys, we're having some technical difficulty here, but the first part of Mr. Willard's story, oh my God, it is so touching. He was sentenced to 144 years, which served 16 years, 11 months. While he was in there, he told us a story about a young man who lost his life for 32 cents for a little bag of chips. He also shared his past, how it happened, what was his charges. You have to go back to rewatch if you didn't see the first part of this broadcast, but I'm telling you, his story is amazing. He's doing some amazing things here in the Atlanta area. His info is, let's go back. The school is www.lastinglayersofbeauty.com. In order to get in contact with you, if you wish, with him, C.L. Willars, WILLARS @gmail.com. Love your movement, Queen. Keep striving. Maybe you should take a trip to Atlanta, Mr. Roberts, and see Mr. Willars, and maybe who knows? Who knows? Who knows? A change, There's a change. It's a reason why you was here on tonight, Mr. Roberts. I'm telling you, maybe you guys should link and see, what you could get out of it. I mean, how you both could pour into each other and help one another, because you have a story as well as he have a story. And I'm waiting for you to come on. How about that? But thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I appreciate each and every one of you who tuned in here with us on tonight for our Wisdom Wednesday. And let me tell you something. This young man poured out a whole lot. We have him back. Let's see if we can hear him. Can we hear you?
When I say the enemy been trying to stop this one today.
You see?
We done had car accident. I ain't tell you, my computer upstairs. We ain't had the Wi-Fi. The modem I'm on my cell phone. I see y'all, everybody watching this. I dropped the cell phone 2-3 times, Wi-Fi. But thank you for being patient with me. I wanted to say that on. This ain't my style right here.
No, I understand. The thing about it is, the most important thing is you got the word out.
Indeed.
Got the word out. And I'm telling you, your story is amazing. So you could go ahead and finish off and telling us what your hats that you wear, because you were still going.
Yeah, my fault. Aside from Last Layers of Beauty Institute, we here in Atlanta, but me and a couple of guys were looking to start providing employment opportunities. That's the last piece. People specifically, a lot of times, men and women come home from prison with trades, and now we're phasing into that part, I guess, of the work, which is now we've provided housing, we've got educational opportunities because we do sponsor returning citizens through scholarships at times, and now we're getting ready to provide employment. And then in 10 years, I'm going to run for political office. I don't know which one yet, because I just found out it's legal. I'm just joking. No, everybody always try to put pastor on me, which I'm not there. And
I beg to differ.
Yeah. The pastors I know, they operate at a I respect them. I still cuss a little, and
It's okay. But listen, God will deliver you from that. I promise you. But with the gift that you have, you understand, you're the one who can reach the young. See, the old school pastors are the old school, I call them seasoned folk. That's what I call them.
Seasoned saints.
Yeah, seasoned saints. There you go. They don't really give our young people, not all.
Right.
They don't really give our young people a chance. They have to understand, like, our generation is totally different than the generation that's coming up now. So we have to know how to go back and reach down to grasp them. Like you talk to the young man at the store.
Yeah, I bring them to the church. I bring them there.
And they're gonna see you in the pulpit.
No, hey.
First Lady April.
We don't know. You don't know though. You never know. I'm learning. The older I get, the more humble in knowing that I do not know what his plans are.
That's right.
I just gotta pay attention.
So
and
true.
Walk in. Yeah.
So true, because nobody wouldn't have ever told me that I will be ordained to be an evangelist. Ever told me that. But hey, when God calls, you answer, you be obedient. Like you say, again, I think that's why you're going through the phases of the is. And all of these the is don't have to be bad either, but the is that you're going through, see, you're being prepared. Man. So just like you spoke to that young man at that store, you know what I'm saying? Most people probably would have passed him by, and not even listen. You gave him an ear. You gave him a chance to tell how he feel. You see what I'm saying? Most of the times we don't do that. We don't even sit and talk. You know what? Thank you, Holy Spirit. We need to learn how to talk with our children. They don't have to be ours, but we need to know how to talk with our children and not at our children.
Right.
And that happens far too often, where we're talking at them. And I'm even in my grown age, I'm 50 years old. So when you go to like talking at me, you totally lose me. Right. I don't hear nothing else you say after that, because at the end of the day, I want you to talk with me.
Right.
If it's something, go ahead.
Can I add something to that? And I
yes.
to the older parents or to those like my mother's 75, right? And a lot of time we grew up in these older black with older black folk. They did not speak about anything. Everything was swept under. Auntie used to take crazy medicine, but we never knew what it was about. All that. Have conversations with your kids, with your nephews, with your nieces, with your because I get whatever you think they don't know. This is a different day and time. So just have those conversations with them. I just want to say that.
That's the truth, though. But I have one more thing. Let's see what Dwayne's saying here. He says, "I'm going home, girl. Just came from work, but to be continued. Keep it going, and everyone needs to congratulate instead of hating. Keep it real at all times, and everything else will fall in place. Y'all had me locked in for a while, and it was worth it. God don't make no mistakes."
Thank you,
absolutely,
man.
Absolutely.
Salute to you.
Yes. And the last thing I want to ask you: how long have you been out, and what would you say is your biggest blessing? You coming home? Outside of your wife,
I've been home.
because I know your wife is your biggest blessing. But
right, I've been home since January 13th, 2020. So what is that? We're approaching 4 years. We're almost fourth quarter or whatever, or 4 years. Biggest blessing. I got a lot. I'm blessed with a lot. You're speaking to somebody that lived in a 6x9 cell for years, and somebody that was in segregation in a hole for over 3.5 years. And in July, I was able to move my family out to the country, and we got a greenhouse and chicken coop and
what?
Yeah, and I don't say it a lot because people will think that it's bragging, but I have tears. People don't understand. They don't understand. I went from a situation. I'm starting to get up. That's why I like talking about this stuff. But I really went from a situation where I was in a bathroom essentially, and now, I'm blessed. I drive into a different neighborhood, and it's just a different journey now.
Yeah. But you know what though? The thing about it is, you're not coming from a place of pride.
No,
you're coming from a place where you know where your blessings come from. You see what
I'm
saying?
It's like I'm in awe sometimes. Like I don't know, man. It's just hard to explain, but yeah, I'm grateful for everything. I'm grateful for being able to walk to the store and get me a pop. So,
tell your story. See, that's the thing. Never water down yourself for anybody.
Right.
Because God has, the thing about it is God loaned us all of this that we have. People think that it's theirs. No, it's not. God, we're all on borrowed time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you're not bragging on the things you have. You're bragging on what God has given you. You're giving him the glory. You see what I'm saying? So don't be afraid to tell your story, because let me tell you something. I told somebody last night, I think that was last night on last night on our prayer broadcast, my covenant partners. A lot of times what we're doing, we're living our truth, and people is living their lies. They're scared to live their truth.
I get that.
Why? No, God has he has brought you from a mighty long way.
It used to be state. Yeah, it was. People don't understand. Like I've really been, and it's not just me. So many, but I went through hell. To reach my peace. Like it was a hard journey. And that and anybody watching this, side note, I didn't really touch on it. Mental health, guys. Like Black men right now, we're leading the board in suicide. We're leading the board in depression. We're leading a lot of areas that we shouldn't be. So I just wanted to, I'm not, I'm being respectful to the show, but I had to speak on that, man. Get help if you need it, guys.
That's good. Journey. Can I bring you back on here with the mental health young lady who's she's a mental health coach? Can I bring you back on? I would like to bring a panel of men to come back on to speak about that, because not just suicide, a lot of men is killing women.
Yeah, domestic violence is at all-time high. And what I was going to say, one of the things I mentioned, we facilitate every Monday at 6 p.m. Black Men's Mental Health Group, where we do this, that. We have dialogue, and we have bring in, QMHPs. And so if anybody wants to get involved with that, you can message me or email me. I think it's important, and I would love to be up here to have that discussion. Mental health is something I'm very passionate about.
Oh my God. I was gonna have her, but see, you say on Mondays you have your group at 6.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was gonna have her to join our NFL mom show, and it's on Mondays at 6. So what
Mm-hmm.
I could do, I could speak to her and actually, we could work out a date. You let me know what works for you, and then we could get a panel of guys up here to speak about, mental. It's so imperative, not just with men. It's mental health. It's like when COVID hit. I don't know what took place after COVID hit.
It's scary.
Very. People were locked in, and a lot of people not used to being locked in. They used to being on the outside, But I'm gonna tell y'all something, and it can sound so cliche. We have to get our houses in order because God is not pleased with what's going on in this world. Oh my God, I'm telling you, get your house in order. That's from the rooter to the tutor. That's from young and old, because you don't know. It's things that we never even imagine. We could go outside and play. We'll have a fight with one of our friends and we back friends in a couple of seconds, a couple of minutes, It's definitely needed. Yes, superstar. It's definitely needed. So, Mr. Willars, let's talk and see what we can work out. And I'll speak with her, because I'm telling you, this here, I know a young lady, my heart goes out to her. Her mother was just murdered by her husband.
Yeah. The thing, and I want to speak about that. I'm sorry. I'm not even gonna keep it, but to my men out there, do not carry home the mode of which you had to operate in there out here.
Ooh.
To anybody, and that just doesn't pertain to your spouse, or it. Sometimes we're in the mode of fight and flight for so long, and because we're trying to survive, we don't know how to switch it off. It's imperative. I'm urging anybody that watches this, and I'm urging from a personal place, and I speak about it on my platform. Do not bring home what you've been through out here in that way. Find a healthy way, therapy, support group, clergy, somebody, the right way, so you can start to decompress. Because it's real. It's hard to shake off 10 years, 15 years, 5 years of an abnormal environment. And you're not always going to respond right, but you got to be mindful to the people that are in your corner.
Ooh. Now, you just spoke to the men. I want you to speak to the women that may be dating these men that's coming home. What are the signs that they should look for?
Well, I mean, first I would say to the ladies, don't expect the man coming home from prison. And I don't mean this because everybody's not looking for that. I'm a married man. I married my wife. But don't look for somebody coming home from prison to save your life. Don't look for somebody to come home that's been gone for XYZ to come out here and start working 60 hours a week and pull you out the hole. Because a lot of times relationships, when somebody's incarcerated, they don't happen usually from the right place, right? Sometimes they last, but the majority of them don't. I can tell you, me and my wife, we're a minority, right? We're a small percentage of people that are making it. But to the lady, I would just say, specifically, be patient in knowing that he's gonna tell you he's got it figured out because he's a man, and he doesn't want you to 9 times out of 10 think otherwise, and he probably believes that. I was one of those guys. I thought I had it all figured out. Wow. I knew I was coming out here to do X, Y. Be patient with him. Let him figure it out. Don't become his warden. My homegirl, she's a relationship coach. My big sister Monique Yesenia, and she's always preaching to the women, don't become your man's warden. And shout out to my wife. My wife's the type, hey, you going out? All right, I see you, but I don't even go out. That's what's so crazy. Wow. But allow us to make our mistakes, allow us to grow, and allow us to learn. But the most importantly, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be difficult.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't dress it up. A lot of times people walk into those relationships thinking it's going to be honeymoon phase. And it's funny, me and my wife, we sit back now, we watch the newer couples and we just smile because we know it's going to be some tough conversations and some tests and some, but it's possible.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, guys, you heard it here tonight for our Wisdom Wednesdays. It had to happen. We're sitting here talking to Mr. Christopher Life Willars, and he says from prison to principle. If you missed the first part of this broadcast, please do go back and rewatch it because he definitely dropped some great jewels here on tonight. Our prayers and condolences to the family. Thank you, Positive Odds. I'm sure she's looking in, but it's so sad at what took place, and it's far too often that I'm hearing now so many guys killing their wives or their girlfriends. It's just a scary thing, it's just, again, it's like one thing could make a person click.
Yeah. We just recently had one of our brothers come home, and we could speak about it. We speak about it in groups and stuff, but he came home and he murdered his brother and committed suicide over an argument. But that's what happens when you don't, to my men, heal. Find healing before it's too late. That system that we were in was designed to destroy us. We've been damaged. We've been impacted. So heal.
You know what? That's why I'm glad I had you here. And thank you so much for accepting the invitation so we can hear. Because a lot of times, again, like I say, people do not sit down and talk with you guys to kind of hear what it is. Or even the women that may have done some time, it's so much. But again, thank you so much. I know you're tired. You gave me 30 minutes over your time. I truly appreciate it. I can't wait to have you back and especially talk with Queen April, because maybe she could shed some light on, for the women that
I think you should have her up here by herself and let her go in.
Yeah,
she got plenty. I like to give her I come up anytime you want. I love this platform. Thank you again for having me, and technical difficulties and all. But my wife she's an author. She wrote a book called About to Lose It. Everybody, I'm plugging that. You can get that on Amazon.
About to Lose It?
Yes, ma'am. About to Lose It. And her author name, pseudonym is LaShawn Myers.
Okay.
And it's her life story. And she's got a crazy. She's been through it. She's from 7 Mile of Detroit. She grew up harder than I ever did.
Wow.
And she's a fighter. She got a story.
I forgot the E, y'all. It's LOOSE. I was typing so fast, but About to Lose It, LaShawn Myers. That is awesome. I definitely want to sit and talk with her because it had to happen. Actually started as a book.
Oh, that's what's up. I started to do some homework, and I jumped over to your Facebook. I was like, "Yo, this is." I like you. I love the platform. I just want to say it again.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It's work because I'm doing all of this. I'm doing by myself right now. I know God's gonna send me a team. I know it. I can feel it. But but right now I do what I can do because this is here. It had to happen when God loaned me this particular title. It just really literally blew my mind because we don't understand that it's that transpire is actually birthing us for our purpose, and everything that I had to go through. I never questioned why. I just knew that one day I would get through it, and you take what you dealt and you get up, you get over it, and you move on. But it happened it happened to you, Mr. Willars, for you to share with others. And that's definitely what you're doing. You're helping so many, and your wife as well, Queen April. You guys are doing an amazing job. Keep doing it. I would definitely keep you all in my prayers because we all know we all need prayers.
It's a season right now. I could have went just talking about this season. We in the middle of one, but to God get the glory.
You'll be back.
You'll
be back. You'll be back.
We talk about this.
That's all right, y'all. And we got the people riding with us, and we thank you all. We cannot do this without each and every one of you tuning here. It had to happen. Guys, if you have not subscribed, please do hit the subscribe button. It's free. As well as the notification button to let you know, guys know every time we go live here at It Had to Happen. Tomorrow, look at there, Mr. Willars. I have a 13-year-old high school graduate.
That's fire. That's amazing.
Here tomorrow. He has his own hydroponic lab.
I'm not going to say
much. Huh?
We need help. We need help in the ecosystem. Let's go.
We're going to connect. See, look at what God did. I'm going to tune in tomorrow at 6 p.m. if you can. He's an amazing young man. This man has so much wisdom for the age of 13. But he will be here. Look at him. He looks like a little baby. Where did it go? I want to show you guys our little guy here. Amazing. Mr. Milan.
Look at that. Man. That's the young man right there.
13 years old and already graduated high school.
Salute to the support, salute to the family and helping them, but definitely salute to him. 13.
Oh, and guess what? Single mom.
Salute to her. Shout out to all the single mothers. Shout out to my mother. Hey, my mother, true. My mother, 75 years old, and man, she's still going strong. So salute to the single mom. That's all I know. I'm grateful for mine.
Amen. And my mother's 76, getting ready to be 77, and she's still going strong. My father was called home when I was 5, and she just wrote it on out from there, But the thing about it is, and that's another thing, we could go on and on.
Yeah, I know.
He says that, single mom kids is going to be what?
Yeah, that's what people say. Yeah. Failure,
we beg to differ. Just take a look.
Right.
But to God be the glory for all the things that he's doing, and getting ready to do. Again, guys, get your house in order. It's just so much happening in this world. Yeah. They just don't want to let you go. I would love to know who is Positive Vibes, because they're sending so much love.
Positive Vibes only. She's with us over on 100 TV, man. Shout out. She's definitely yeah. So definitely shout out to everybody that if anybody else sees it, supports the platform over there, and make sure I'm definitely gonna shout you out. I want you to get on mine too. I know you got a story or some wisdom. You dropped a whole bunch right here.
Thank you so much. I would be more than happy to come on over there. Yeah. Just let me know again. We're going to connect, because I definitely want to have Queen April on, as well as hook you up with Milan, because he has I want you to just hear the story. I don't want to tell his story before he come on, but he has a story, an unfortunate situation. You might have saw it on the news here in Georgia, but definitely, if you can, try to tune in at 6 o'clock tomorrow to show him some love, because again, he's doing this thing. He's trying to raise money, but guys, I don't want to tell too much. We'll be back here tomorrow at 6 p.m. And guys, if you would like to book with your girl, you can do so by going to my website at www.ericawilsonIH2H.com. Again, www.ericawilsonIH2H.com. I'd love to have you on Wednesdays or Thursdays. Monday nights is our NFL Mom Show. Oh my God, we had so much fun on there. Guys, tune in if you can and just hear the behind the scenes stories of the moms, because we all know who holds that key to those kids, who stand behind them while they're going through that. We know we only hold them for a while till they get wives, but hey, we did what we did and we do what we do, right? And that's it. And on Tuesdays at 5:30, I have my prayer broadcast, Girls Talk with Dr. B. Amazing. So we're doing some great things here at It Had to Happen. We'll love to have you. We got 2 more comments, and then we're going to get on out of here. Oh, my girl screaming Duval. All right. Positive Vibes. I love Listen, I love you.
All
She's showing
positive
so much
vibes.
love. I'm loving it. But until next time, Mr. Willars, we do not like leaving this broadcast without sending some virtual love. We hug the people virtually, and we send out some virtual love. Because, guys, we love you here at It Had to Happen. And we cannot do this without you, and you. If this broadcast has blessed you, please do go ahead and share it. It's free to share. God bless you all. Until next time, thank you so much, Mr. Willars. I'm so sorry. Shouts out to you, Queen April, for allowing me to borrow your husband for an hour and 35 minutes. Thank you so much. Yeah.
She probably want me to stay on for 3 hours. She love to break down.
We'll bring her back. How about that?
Oh, God.
God bless each and every one of you. Until next time, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Erica's empowering empire. 88 Blessings Soar Movement. It had to happen in a beauty so rare. We'd love for you to join us by subscribing to our YouTube channel, It Had to Happen with Erica Wilson. Following our social media.